What's up, guys? I wanted to do a little mix breakdown for my new single that's dropping tomorrow. It's a cover of this Brazilian song that I really enjoy. So this is my session. I've got my submix, which I use as my master bus here. It's a routing folder track. If you guys are not using those as your buses, I would highly recommend it over the normal auxiliary channels, because this you can open and close, and it gives you all the flexibility that a normal auxiliary channel gives you. So I stick everything into my submix. Everything goes through there, all my effects, all my different buses, and then you can see here I've got buses within the submix. So I've got my little orchestra bus, which just has choir high, choir low, and then the horns. Nothing for the drums. Anything that you guys see CM on is stuff that I've committed. So you can see some of these look pretty bare in terms of the mixing on it, and that's because I commit everything as I'm going along. And this is a session that I imported because something went wrong with the last session. So anyways, just know that I've done more processing rather than what you see here. When you see the CM, especially if there's two, that means I've committed them multiple times. So all the effects that and all the processing that I've done has been committed to those tracks. And then you can see there's only a few that I haven't done that with. And that's just to save CPU. I like just committing stuff, getting it out the way. That saves CPU. It saves some RAM, and it's just overall much easier, much cleaner looking. So yeah, so all the percussion elements here in green. So I got Celeste, and then the drums, got bass, and then I got my guitar bus here, another routing folder. So I got funk guitar, rhythm guitar, wah guitar, lead guitar, and then another lead guitar track here, acoustic guitar, lead synth. I got piano here, the piano effects that I put on there, organ, and then I got my vocal bus here. So I got quite a few of those. We'll go over that. And then djembe, I guess I can move these up to the percussion because these are djembe and claps. So we can move those guys up to right over here. Put them right under the drum section, just so it's a little bit better. Okay. And yeah, so let's kind of go over this really quick. I'll show you guys the original song.
Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord,
So obviously their version is way louder than mine. One, this was mastered for CD, so naturally you're just gonna get that louder, and I didn't want my master to be extremely loud. So we'll go over the master bus in a bit, but kind of just want to go over the breakdown of everything here. So it's very close in terms of the it's very close in terms of the overall song. I try to get it pretty close, but not identical to the song. But so let's go over here everything we got. So let's see. So you got the acoustic guitar here. Then we got the drums. You know what? Let me mute the effects here so you guys aren't hearing the reverb there. Yeah, there we go. So got the drums there, very punchy. Love the way they sound. And by the way, this the drums, the Celeste, and then the orchestral parts here were the only things that I didn't play on this here. And I just use Easy Drummer for the drums. the Celeste, I just pulled up a Celeste patch and used my MIDI, and then same with the orchestra parts here. So technically even played those. The drums were technically the only ones that I didn't play. So yeah, we got that. And then the bass. Now the bass, you can hear I'm kind of playing these eighth notes. On the original, I believe they're playing quarter notes, so a slightly different feel. Let's see if we can kind of A-B them here really quick. It's not gonna be too fast, but ba-dum bum ba bum bum, ba-dum bum ba bum bum, bum 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 ba bum bum, bum bum ba bum bum. So yeah, we got that going on. And then let's see what else. The djembe, I wasn't sure if I wanted to keep this in there because it has this weird resonance to it, and it almost makes it feel like the song is clipping at times, which is not. But this is the djembe. I did play this as well. Pan to the right. So there's that. And then we got all the guitars. So let me go ahead and we'll solo the guitar bus here, and then we'll play them individually. So the funk guitar stabs here, pan to the right. I got the rhythm guitar. Panned a little bit further to the right. This one's 75, that one's 30. The funk guitar is 30. We got the wah guitar. So that went through my pedal board, and I was using my wah pedal there for that. And that's panned 75 to the left. That's all the stacked ones. And then in the pre-chorus, I've got this lead guitar part. Sort of like these sliding octave stabs things going on. And this isn't in the original song. It's more so to kind of fill in some of the space that they used a lot of effects and stuff that I didn't want to use on mine, because it's just going to take way longer than it should. And also the other thing, I just didn't want it to be completely the same. I didn't want my cover to be identical, so yeah, that's basically that. And then at the end, I got the solo, which was actually a one take, and it was improvised. I didn't think I was gonna keep this, honestly, and then I gave it another couple takes after the fact. I'm gonna just go ahead and play a little bit of that. And also, it sounds a little dry because all the reverbs and stuff are off. Let me just turn those back on so you can hear. It's got some delay. Yeah, I got some delay and some reverb there going. So. But there you're hearing the reverb from everything from the whole session. So, anyways, I don't feel like putting all of these to post fader, so we can hear just the delay of the guitar. So you guys will just get that. But yeah, so I gave it another couple takes, and I could not get the same tone as this, even though I kind of played it better. I couldn't get the same tone, and I couldn't get it to cut through the mix the same way. So I was like, you know what, fuck it, we'll keep this first take straight improv. It was really just a demo take just to see how it would sound in the context of everything, but it sounds good enough. So we kept that on. So let's go ahead and solo the guitars real quick so I can hear that. Oh, hold on. Let me mute this. So there's all that. I guess I can go through the Celeste here. So just that. And then we got the orchestra, which comes in the bridge here. So I'll play the full mix and then I'll solo the orchestra. So let's unsolo that.
Se não tem fé, ninguém mais vai te ver. Inclinar seu olhar sobre nós.
So there we got the high choir. Definitely not the best sound. Got the low choir singing the same thing, and then the horns, mostly trumpets, I think, and then all together. So there's all that, and then along with that comes in the claps, and those come in with the orchestra, and then the Celeste comes in. Okay, and then the piano, I played that as well. So, damn, I keep forgetting about this. We're just gonna keep that off. So if stuff sounds dry, just know that the reverbs and all that is off. So this is the piano. Love this piano sound. I use keyscape on this. You can't see it because it's committed. I think it was just Grand Piano Studio, I think is the patch that I use for this. And then I got an organ part as well that I played as well. So we got that, and then the vocals. So let's see here. We've got the main vocal for the refrain here.
Oh Lord, oh la 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 Lord, oh 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 Lord, Lord.
And then we've got the background vocal for the refrain.
Oh Lord, oh la 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 la.
So that is double track, both hard pan left and right, and together we have.
Oh Lord, oh la 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 Lord. Oh.
So you can hear there's some saturation on my voice. I like saturation. I think it helps a lot with just the mix in general, adding some more warmth, some texture, and it helps cut through the mix much better. All of my vocals are going through this bus. So all of these guys here have their own processing. Some of them do, some of them don't. And then they're all going into this Vox bus here. So then in the chorus, we got the chorus main here.
Lugar pra relaxar, eu vou pedir pros anjos cantarem por mim. Pra quem tem fé, a vida nunca tem fim, não tem fim.
And then that goes into the verse. Da-da-da-da. That goes into the verse.
E você não aceita o conselho, te respeito. Resolveu seguir, ir atrás, cara e coragem. Só que você sai em desvantagem se você.
And that's pretty much it. There's some smaller phrases here that we don't really need to go over. I guess there's a bridge here. We can go over that. Da-da-da.
Sobre nós e cuidar, inclinar.
And then we got the background vocals, which are singing lower, so it's
Sobre nós e cuidar, inclinar seu olhar sobre nós e cuidar.
And then lastly, for the vocals, we got these oohs at the end here.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
And that is pretty much everything. As far as effects, I've got, let's see, I forgot my effects bus here. I've also got one of those, and I tried something new this time. I actually sent my effects bus to a parallel bus comp and compressed that. I can't pull that up again. Another 1176 here, and I kind of compressed the shit out of that and blended it in with the regular effects bus effects, and it made a slight difference. It just kind of made the effects a little bit more prominent and present, which was a cool trick. I hadn't done that before, but I might start using that. And it's a really subtle difference, but I mean it helps a little bit. So in terms of I should have named all of these, but in terms of the reverb, I think this is so I always roll off some of the low end because I don't want any of that going into the reverb, because that just makes everything muddy, cluttered. I don't want any of that low end. So I got frequency cut off about 155, high pass filter, nothing too extreme. Sometimes I might go up to like 300 or so, it just depends. Fab filter Pro R. Next time I'll do this on my main monitor, because then I can pull up all the plugins. I don't know why it's not showing up. Don't know what's going on with that. But this is, I think, the main reverb. So I named this one reverb. And then I've got an atmosphere reverb, which is a much longer decay. Again, it's not going to pull up. But anyways, this is more for texture than anything, and to kind of add some depth to the mix. So this is a way longer. I use this one way less. I might hit it with like, let me pull up one of, so these are on the guitars. You can see I'm hitting it at 40, negative 40, 40 decibels. So, I mean, barely touching that. Whereas the other reverbs, I'm going a lot more heavy-handed. Not too heavy-handed because I don't like too much reverb, but this is the guitar buzz here. So I've got a lot more on the regular reverb. And then I've also got a medium delay, a long delay, and a drum reverb. So this is just for the drums itself. And then the other reverbs are going basically to everything else. And then on my mix bus, this is what I got here. So this is my master basically. I use the a routing folder as my master, because then I can put a EQ here on the real master and a meter. So I got Ozone Imager, and then if I'm not mistaken I got a Uline Mat. Yeah, this guy here, another meter, basically taking my LUFs and whatnot.
E você não aceita o conselho, te respeito.
So we're about negative 13 LUFs, not too bad. I think the original might be like negative 9.
Pra relaxar, eu vou pedir pros anjos cantarem por mim. Pra quem tem.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I turned this down 4 dB, so it's much louder than that. Yeah, I think they hit about -8, -7, which is honestly way too loud for streaming. I'm not gonna go over all that, but yeah, I don't want to have it that loud because again, this is not going on CD. So I turned theirs down to about -12, -13, and it kind of matched mine. Even then, mine is still a little bit quieter. But yeah, that's usually what I try to get to, about -12 max. But then on my master here, I've got SSL comp, the G Buzz comp, barely hitting that. I think maybe about 2 dB or so. Oh, maybe I can go back to mine. Okay, so hitting it a little bit harder than I thought, and I thought my attack was slower. I don't usually go for a fast attack like this on the master bus. I'll typically stick with 3 milliseconds or 10. 30 can usually create some problems with distortion and stuff, depending on how hard you're pushing it. And basically, the slower attack is going to maintain the punchiness of the song. The faster attack is going to kind of tame those transients a little bit more. So I'm kind of surprised that I went with 1 millisecond here. I don't usually do that, and I didn't recall doing that. And then we got a pretty quick release ratio, 4:1. And then I got these are not going to come up, but I'll let you know what I'm doing here. So on this first Pro Q3, I'm boosting 1.17 dB at 70 hertz to bring out some of the bass and the kick, and I'm boosting high shelf 1.7 dB at 14 kilohertz. So, and then we got another Pro Q3. This is a mid-side processing. So what I'm doing here is I'm basically taking out all the side information up to 200 hertz about. So at 200 hertz and below, all of that is coming out of the side imaging, because I don't want any of the low end information on the sides. I just want that completely mono in the center. And then I am also compressing the mids from about 350-ish to about 4 kilohertz. So I'm compressing about 3 dB there, just kind of tame the mids a little bit more. And we can kind of solo these or bypass So very subtle, very subtle. There on the first one, you can kind of hear it gets a little bit more body because of that boost in the low end, and a little bit more clarity at the top. And then this kind of compresses that mid-range, obviously, but it makes everything more controlled a little bit. Got the NLS bus again. This time I went with the mic emulation, which again, I forget which exact emulation that is, but it added some warmth and a little bit more body to the song. See if we can game match these so you guys can, I don't know if, well, we'll just keep it, so I don't want to go too deep into this, but yeah, basically we got that going there. And then I've got Pro L2 limiter. Let me let you know it. I'm basically pushing that about 7 dB. And that's taking off about 2 to 3-ish dB, which isn't too bad. I've got a pretty moderate attack here at 292 milliseconds, pretty moderate release. And that's pretty much that. And then I had this Zen limiter from UAD, which was great. And the actual song that I've printed and is coming out is going through this limiter here, which was fantastic. I might buy this honestly because it was great. I think it added a lot of character to the song. But For now, just to kind of bring it up to loudness, I just put another Pro L2 on there, but just know that's not on the song that's going to be coming out. So that's pretty much it, guys, and I'll just kind of go over, I'll just kind of play the 2 songs back to back here so you can kind of hear the similarities and the differences. They are pretty similar, but there are some differences, which I like about this.
Em qualquer continente, mais boa de se viver em qualquer lugar. Volte a brilhar, volte a brilhar. Vinho, pão e uma reza, uma lua e sol, sua vida, portas abertas. Em algum lugar pra relaxar, eu vou pedir pros anjos cantarem por mim. Pra quem tem fé, a vida num.
And I'm gonna just skip here to like the solo part. Oh, and a couple of other things that I do here on my master. You can see I've got some automation. This is volume automation. So basically, the intro is a lot quieter, and then I kind of automate it to build up some volume, some momentum, and then when the chorus is hit, I usually bring that up about 0.5 dB to a whole dB, and bring it back down on the verses, on the pre-choruses, raise it just a tad, and that kind of helps with the dynamics of everything. And one quick cool thing that I really liked about the original that I wanted to do on mine is at the very end. Let's see if we can play this real quick. Okay, before that. Okay, so listen for the reverb on the whole track, but all the instruments drop out. It's really just the guitar and his vocals, I think, and the Celeste. The reverb completely or almost completely vanishes, so it's gone. And I really like how they did that, because it brings his voice forward when the reverb is out the way. Brings his voice forward. It's a little bit more intimate, and it helps kind of close off the song in a cool way. So let's see here. Right there. He kind of comes closer with the guitar. So I might have done that a little bit more aggressively. Let's see. Yeah. And you can see, so I did do it that a little bit more aggressive. Did I just do something here? No. Okay. So this was my effects bus. So you can see here the big dip in the reverb. So I was at 0 dB there and took it down negative 52 dB. So there's still a tad bit of reverb. Maybe if I completely mute it, you'll hear a little bit of a difference. Yeah. Barely any difference at all. So it's basically like I completely took it off. On the original, it sounds like there might still be a little bit of reverb. Not sure. But that is pretty much it. I just kind of wanted to go over with you guys. If you ever want me to go a little bit more in depth, I definitely can. Hopefully this could give you guys some tips or some tricks or whatever. Some insight on my workflow and what I do. Hopefully you took something away from this. I would hope. And let me know if you guys would like to see more of these. I wouldn't mind doing these at all. And then see, this is really cool here, because then you can just close your whole session is in that submix. So boom. And then you can see all the tracks here. So if you guys aren't using that yet, I would highly recommend it. But I guess we'll keep it at that, folks. I hope you enjoyed. So it was way longer of a video than I thought it would be. But anyways, hope you guys took something out of this. This has been Samurai. Arigato and sayonara.